What's going on, everybody? Nerd of the 90s here, and I'm back. Sorry guys, I'm a little late on this, and since this is the 27th, I want to wish you guys a very late Happy Merry Christmas. Sorry I'm a little bit late, I just got back exactly on Christmas Day, and yesterday I didn't have enough time because I was grocery shopping, trying to get everything I can for the food. But now that we're here, let's talk about DC's Road to Redemption here with Aquaman. Did James Wan actually manage to save every single thing about this movie? Well, let's talk about it. So, Aquaman, directed by James Wan, starring Jason Momoa, Amber Heard, William Dafoe, Patrick Wilson, Dolph Lundgren, if I pronounce your name right, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and Nicole Kidman. Quite the cast, right? So let's first start off with the story. So the story is an origin story though, because even though Aquaman did got a minor cameo in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice of where he's actually located at, then in Justice League we only get to see what he actually does, what he's actually doing, helping the people in Iceland, and pretty much keeping his distance away from Atlantis. But then here we already get to see why he keeps his distance here in Atlantis. But not only that too, we get to see where he was born, how he was, well, you know, everything about the origins and stuff like that. And how his mom, Queen Atlanta, is separated from himself. And not only that too, we get to see how he develops himself when he was training as a kid. The story is a little bit convoluted because we get to see an origin story, then in the modern times, a bit of a story that introduces Black Manta, and then we get to see a minor origin story of pretty much of Arthur Curry's past. The story does suffer a little bit, not so much though, but at least it does manage to carry around with Jason Momoa's performance and with the rest of the actors' performance, because none of them were really bad. As for Jason Momoa as Arthur Curry / Aquaman, I thought here he carried the film, as I said in the story, since it suffered. Here he does manage to carry the movie a lot, because even though Aquaman is a very, very serious character in the comic books, here I really did like Jason Momoa's performance because he was really funny in lots of moments, but when he kicked ass all around the movie, I thought he fit perfectly, and I thought to me, Jason Momoa as Aquaman was absolutely fantastic, and with that I give him credit. As for Mera, played by Amber Heard, I thought to me, as Arthur Curry's love interest, I thought she does a really good job to me, motivating Arthur to understand that he is royalty, and despite him being half human and half, you know, Atlantean, does have the ability to speak to fish. And not only that too, Mera does manage to at least try to convince Arthur Curry to at least help the people of Atlantis despite what's going on with his half-brother Orm. And then right here, to me, I thought the love interest with Arthur Curry and Mera was absolutely great, and I thought Amber Heard does a fantastic job. And as for the villains, I would have to say Orm, or should I say Ocean Master. I thought to me Patrick Wilson as Orm was really, really good. Even though he has some, despite generic motivations of him pretty much trying to get into war with districts of Atlantis, away from it though, I thought to me his motivations were a bit generic. But here, at least what saves the movie though, with the villain side, David Kane / Black Manta. I thought to me him as Black Manta was absolutely really, really great. I thought to me that well, we don't get to see his origin, but we get to see his backstory of why he really hates Aquaman. Black Manta in this movie was really, really good. I thought his costume design really looked sick, and I thought to me the character who plays him, I really can't wait to see more of him. To me, Abdul-Mateen II performing as Black Manta was really, really good. And also Patrick Wilson as Orm, I thought he was great. The generic motivations, but still, at least here, what does save it is Black Manta. And then Orm, despite your generic motivations, you guys both get a plus. As for the supporting cast, Queen Atlanta, played by Nicole Kidman, I thought she was really good, being the mother of Arthur Curry. She really did kick ass in the very beginning of the movie. As for Nearest, played by Dolph Lundgren, I thought him playing the father of Mera was really, really good. Nudist Volko, played by William Dafoe, despite his role being cut from Justice League, and then here he does take a bigger part here as being the mentor / trainer of Aquaman. I thought to me he was really, really good, and I still can't believe that William Dafoe went from the Green Goblin in Spider-Man, mentor of Arthur Curry. I thought to me that was absolutely cool, and I gotta say that's quite a career highlight for William Dafoe. As for Thomas Curry, the father of Arthur Curry, I thought he was really, really good. To me, him being the father, even though his screen time was a little bit short, I thought to me he did provided some great screen time. Merc, played by Ludi Lin. I didn't even know that it was actually him. I thought he was really cool and all, but even though he is also the bitch of Orm, I thought to me he was cool, even though he looked a bit funny. The moment though where he loses his pretty much his water oxygen and then he puts his head inside the toilet was absolutely funny, and I thought it was funny. Still can't believe the Black Ranger though went from Black Ranger all the way to DC, but let's see what he does, because I don't think that's the last we're going to be seeing of. The Fisherman King, played by, what's his name? Jaimin Hanuso. I can't believe that guy went from Karath in Guardians of the Galaxy, and then he's also going to be coming back as Karath in Captain Marvel. And not only that too, he is also appearing in Shazam as the original Shazam, and then also here as the Fisherman King. I was like, man, dude, you played through 2 different roles in a DC movie and also 1 role in Marvel. That's absolutely crazy. And he was not the only one other than William Dafoe playing somebody on Marvel to DC. But I gotta say, I thought it was really cool. And yeah, the supporting cast does get an amazing job. As for the action and soundtrack of the movie, the action is pretty much all over the place. It starts off with an action scene which was really cool between Queen Atlantean going against the Atlantic Guards, Arthur Curry kicking ass against Black Manta's army. The fights between Arthur Curry and his brother Orm was really cool. Arthur Curry going against Black Manta and his men. The action is pretty much everywhere, and especially the final battle where it goes completely out of control. I thought the action was great. The soundtrack, Pitbull's Africa song, was a little bit out of place, but I thought it fit well, even though how the way it was introduced. And not only that too, the soundtrack of the movie, I thought it was really good. And yeah, it does a solid job. And I thought the composer does a really good job. The world of Atlantis, I gotta say, wow. I gotta give credit to the guys who made the special effects and the CGI and everything, and I mean everything they done underwater. And for those, the critics who were complaining, too much CGI, why isn't everybody doing underwater? That's impossible. You gotta need CGI in order for them to perform. Seeing the moments where all the characters were breathing underwater, and the moments where they were talking underwater, and a little bit of bubbles coming out, and how the way they were talking, I thought it was cool. Atlantis, how the way it was designed, absolutely amazing. And I gotta give credit to all the CGI guys. How the way Atlantis looks, it didn't look cheap at all. The CGI was not wrong. I thought everything here would look great, especially the sea monsters. Wow, that octopus playing those drums was absolutely cool. The sharks, the giant freaking sea monsters, the crabs, everything was really cool. The underwater segments, to me, I thought it was really good. And yeah, all I can say is, for those who were complaining about the CGI and why is it not filmed underwater, it's impossible. You cannot talk underwater. That is an impossibility. And to me, this was the career high. This is absolutely a career highlight for James Wan for like delivering something like this, and also for the guys who were devoting themselves. Actually dedicating themselves to at least make this movie look really good. And it shows that they proved their hard work, and their hard work showed off immediately. And yeah, I give it a plus. As for the comedy, it's everywhere. How the way Aquaman was joking around, how the way he was reacting to stuff, and especially talking smack while he was fighting, I thought to me it was really funny and all. It was a bit hammy, but hey, at least it worked. Yeah, I gotta give credit to that. So the comedy gets a plus. But let's start off with the cons. Oh man. Remember what I said about Orm's motivation? Well, I thought to me his motivation was a bit generic, even though Black Manta managed to carry the film. I thought it was okay though. And not only that too, what really made me mad about this movie was how the way... I love Black Manta in this movie, I really, really did, but I really would have loved him to be introduced in Aquaman 2, or I don't know, maybe somewhere beneath. But he did got introduced early on in the film, but in the end, he did manage to do a really, really good job. And his motivations here to take down Arthur Curry was really personal. And I thought to me, it was great and all, but despite the writing being a little off and stuff like that, that's all I can say though. And also the plot is everywhere about the movie. And that's my only cons. Is this movie worth watching? Go watch Aquaman. Please go watch Aquaman. Aquaman is a huge success. This movie made up to nearly $600 million worldwide in less than 3 weeks, and especially worldwide everywhere. And I thought to me that was absolutely insane. And yeah, this absolutely helps Warner Brothers financially though, despite what happened to Justice League last year, which they really did not make a lot of money. And I gotta say, this is pretty much the redeeming factor for Warner Brothers and for DC. But I'm gonna ask you this nicely, Warner Brothers. Let James Wan do his fucking job, which you did let him. And don't blame this shit on Zack Snyder, even though he went from producer to executive producer. And don't say Zack Snyder. Yeah, Zack Snyder is pretty much gone from this, so he's not really involved in this, even though he's an executive producer. Don't think about the credibility of this. The credit goes to the guys who made the CGI of this movie and to also James Wan. I thought, to me, this movie was really, really good. And I thought, to me, the performances by Jason Momoa, Amber Heard, Abdul Maureen II, if I pronounced their name right, and everybody else was really, really good. Even though the comedy was a little hammy, the character motivations with Orm and also Black Manta being introduced a little early, even though he wasn't introduced early, he did get introduced. But I thought, to me, it would have been cool to see his origin, but at least we're going to get to see more of that, maybe in the sequel, or maybe in Suicide Squad 2, or I don't know. It depends what Warner Brothers wants to do, because let me ask you this, Warner Brothers. Let your fucking directors do their fucking job. Fuck right off, and please stop banging your fucking skulls in the goddamn wall, and let your fucking directors and writers concentrate on the sequels of the movie, because I'm still waiting on Man of Steel 2. I'm still waiting on the Batman movie, which you're fucking everything up, because you guys say, oh, I don't like the writing about this. Oh, Ben Affleck's not the director anymore, so we're gonna pretty much scrap everything. We're gonna add Matt Reeves in. Please stop fucking breaking your skulls in the fucking wall and think about what you guys are doing, because this is actually affecting the reputation of DC. This is fucking bullshit. I am both a Marvel and a DC fan, and to me, this is fucking pathetic. I grew up with the DC franchise too, and I love DC too. Come on, Warner Brothers, quit fucking everything up and quit being fucking stupid. That's all I gotta say, guys. All I can say is this movie is, to me, my final verdict of this movie is I really want to give it a 9, but 8 out of 10 to me is the right amount. 8 out of 10 with the yes seal of approval, and I definitely am going to put it on my top 10 movies list, because this movie does deserve it. But at the end, I'm really pissed off about one thing though. 64% on Rotten Tomatoes? Fuck you. And then not only that, too, complaining about too much CGI. Why wasn't everything filmed underwater? Get the fuck out of here, critics. You know it's hard enough to film something underwater, and especially talking underwater, it's impossible. At least here, the movie is solid. And that's all I gotta say. What's next for Warner Brothers? I don't know. All I can say is, please stop banging your skulls on the fucking wall. Let your directors and writers concentrate on making the sequel, because Flashpoint hasn't even actually happened, which was this year that Flashpoint was going to be released, but you guys fired a director. You guys wanted to bring in Robert Zemeckis, but you guys decided not to, and then you guys decided to bring in, I think, Phil Lord, I don't know, guys. Really, think about what you guys are doing right now, because this is being fucking pathetic. I know you guys are trying to beat Marvel and stuff like that, but stop being fucking idiots. You're ruining your fucking reputation here. And not only that too, you're ruining the director's reputation and including the actors. And please, let Henry Cavill film his cameo appearance in Shazam. This is fucking pathetic. I want to see fucking Superman. I want to see him again in the sequel. Please, I want to see Brainiac. And please, put in Littlefinger, or should I say Aidan Gillen as Brainiac. I would love to see that shit to happen. And also, if you guys really, that's the perfect way to bring in a new villain. And why not give us Bizarro? Introduce him too. Or Metallo. Think about it. And then also for the Batman movie, you're struggling. Deathstroke is a perfect fit. Or you know what, how about this? A little bit of a Batman origin storyline, but differently. This time, bring in, yes, I know everybody's going to piss angry about this, but bring in Jared Leto's Joker, and then he hires a bunch of his mercenaries and all the freaking Batman's villains. Have them all doing a manhunt. I thought, to me, that's actually a fantastic idea. But please, Warner Brothers, just quit being fucking stupid. You guys have made nearly $600 million in Aquaman, and you're saying, oh, it's not enough. Don't get greedy. That's a lot of money. This movie was under a $200 million budget. And I gotta say, this is a success. And I gotta say, I want more. I want more. Just let your directors do their fucking job. That's it, guys. All I can say is sorry about this movie video being a little late. That's all the time I have right now. Next time I'll be reviewing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I'm going to be watching it tomorrow, so I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow with that video. And then after that, around Sunday or Monday, maybe Saturday, I'm going to be putting in my top 10 video games of the year and top 10 movies of the year. And maybe I might put in top 5 or 6 movies of the year, because I did watch some really bad movies this year, and it was a big disappointment. To put in disappointing and bad movies of the year, because it was bad. But anyways, guys, that's it. I'll see you guys next time. And also, happy holidays and happy late Christmas.